Morning, baby. Unfortunately, Chase is no longer part of my life. He's not here.
Viral videos seem to be sort of like a dying concept on the internet. I feel like these days we very rarely have videos that would do the thing that they did like 10 or 15 years ago, where they just blow the fuck up overnight and the next day every single person you knew was talking about it. I feel like that's just kind of a byproduct of the internet getting so large, you know, social media becoming such an inherent part of our lives these days. The most recent like viral video I can think of is unfortunately Hawk Tua. So I mean, if that's any indication of the state of things. But the beautiful thing is, I feel like a lot of viral videos kind of live on forever. Some more than others. There are certain videos on the internet that regardless of where you're from, regardless of who you are, you've probably seen them or you've at least heard of them. Now, sometimes that's not a very good thing. You know, sometimes it's a video of a guy getting mutilated to a disco song, but other times it's a lot more fun. And I feel like one of those videos is that old TLC My Strange Addiction clip of the guy who's in a physical relationship with his car. You know, the one where he's like fucking the muffler, kissing the steering wheel, you know, really making that oil leak. At this point, I feel like everybody has seen or heard of that video. However, a video that I don't think everybody has seen or heard of is the 10 years later update on that relationship. And ladies and gentlemen, the update video on Nathaniel and Chase's relationship, Chase is the car by the way, one of the saddest fucking things you're ever gonna say. I don't know what Oscar-winning director put this video together as like a side project, but I promise you in 5 minutes, you're gonna be feeling some kind of way about a guy in his fucking car breaking up. You're gonna feel emotions almost as strong as the ones I'm gonna feel against TLC for sending me to copyright hell for making this video, but I don't care. You need to see this video if you haven't. So prepare yourself for an emotional roller coaster and also to hear stories about a guy getting freaky with his car, because honestly, that part is the part that might be harder to process.
Please subscribe. My name's Nathaniel. I live in a small rural town in Texas. And when you last saw me a decade ago, I was in an intimate relationship with my car, Chase.
Now, if you've somehow never seen the original video he's talking about, then you're about to see a pretty graphic scene for the first time. It's right about now where you begin to realize that you've probably never really thought about the logistics of a man being in an intimate relationship with a vehicle. And I'm sorry, but you're not really gonna have any time to think about it any further. Don't worry, I'm gonna try and ease us into it as best as I can, but there's only so much I can do.
Morning, baby. Our handsome man. Love you, baby. It was love at first sight.
Yeah, so admittedly, this is one of the worst things a human being can see with their own eyes. I think part of the reason this video got so popular when it originally came out is because you can really tell this guy's not faking it. My man is at full mast for Chase right here. I just don't really think you can fake this kind of emotion. And this is on camera. You know, I feel like most people are kind of naturally camera shy when it comes to stuff like this. Imagine the shit that goes on behind the closed garage door.
His body and then his interior and everything just together just seemed to fit. And I just felt an instant connection. I just absolutely love Chase. If something were ever to happen to Chase, my heart would just stop. I just have to gather myself here. I'm sorry for all that. Unfortunately, Chase is no longer part of my life.
That's one of the saddest things I've heard all day. Maybe I'm just crazy, or maybe it's because I feel like I have a stronger connection to my cars than most people do, but like this is actually kind of sad. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm sorry, but before this is sad, this is unfathomably weird. Like, let's just be real with ourselves. It's a very difficult thing to process seriously that a human being's in a relationship with a car, but I mean, like, it's pretty harmless at the end of the day. I don't think this is really hurting anybody. It might be hurting him. I can't imagine this is like the healthiest thing for Nathaniel, but that's his prerogative. But I mean, in the grand scheme of things, when it comes to human relationships, there are far worse and more harmful things you can do than kiss your car a little bit. So I mean, if you're able to kind of get past that and accept that this guy really seemed to have loved his car like a human, it's kind of sad.
I still think about it a lot, and it breaks my heart he's not here. I felt like he deserved better. So this is where I keep a lot of Chase's mementos. The bedroom is just a special place, and I felt like that was the perfect place for him, and nice to have him close to me.
This is genuinely fucking heartbreaking. Can you imagine dropping off your car at the mechanic, the car that you're in love with, and the fucking roof falls on him? I don't think I'd ever recover. I'm like half joking, but I'm also like half not. Like I said earlier, I think I have a much deeper connection with my vehicles than the average person. About 8 months ago, I had a car stolen from me, and it was the first car that I ever went out and purchased, like, for myself. Like, it wasn't like the cars that I had to buy in high school because I had to get to work and I had to get to school, and it was just the cheapest fucking thing on the lot. It was a car that, like, getting it was a very big moment in my life. And when it was stolen from me, it was like a genuinely heartbreaking thing. You know, I had it for years, and it's sort of that whole, like, Jeremy Clarkson thing where you sort of subconsciously bond with a car, and in a way, you kind of start to believe that it bonds back, and you think it's like a living thing. And obviously, if you think about that for more than a second, you know it's not true, but it's sort of just human nature to do that without realizing it, and it's sometimes hard to really, like, fathom the bonds you have with an inanimate object until it's taken from you. And I'm not trying to get, like, super dramatic in a video where I'm talking about a guy who used to fuck his car, but I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh, this loser's got his car hood in his bedroom, because if I could get a piece of that car that was stolen from me, you wouldn't be able to stop me.
The blanket's special to me because it's got a lot of his good pictures on it. Just cute stuff like him getting a bath and us together. It's just, you look back and you just don't realize the things you take for granted until it's too late. And so,
my God, this is getting sadder as I watch it. I kind of feel for this guy. You know, I don't really think that there's anything wrong with saying this is kind of weird, this is a bit odd, because at the end of the day, this guy chose to go onto TV and be like, hey, yeah, I fucked my car. He didn't have to do that. Nobody asked him to do that. That was his choice. He had to have known the reaction he was going to get. Come on. If you publicize the fact that you get turned on by kissing your car, you're going to be called weird, and that's just going to be okay. I'm sorry. But at the same time, like, I really don't think this guy is faking this. I mean, I think this is just how he feels, and he probably can't help it. I think this is like a real documented thing that some people go through where they're attracted to objects. So, you know, he probably can't do a whole lot about the fact that he's pretty torn up about Chase, like, car dying. So while I still find it pretty weird, I still have basic human empathy. I feel like we should cut Nathaniel some slack, guys.
I just would change, I guess, the way things happened, or to try to do something different, I guess, to keep him here in my life.
My God, the My Strange Addiction team really knows how to immediately take you out of it, huh? We've got this emotional moment, and then it cuts to this picture of them posing like it's a fucking JCPenney photo shoot.
He's not here. I still think about Chase every day, but I moved on. I was looking for new vehicles and found my baby girl online. Pretty girl. I love Lex with all my heart. Thank you for all you do for me.
And I'm out of it. Nathaniel, I was rooting for you. Your poor fucking car husband was basically murdered in cold blood, and you're able to get over it that easily? Now you're on to something newer, a younger model? Got Chase in the fucking cut corner of your bedroom, just his sad little hood there watching you as you touch, what's her name, Lex? You're a fucking dog, Nathaniel. That's some cold-blooded shit. Well, guys, what are your thoughts? My big question that I'm left with from this video is, honestly, why didn't he just get Chase fixed? Like, I'm not an expert, but from the picture, it didn't really seem like that crazy of damage. Maybe his insurance just wouldn't pay for it. But I mean, if that's your lover, if that's your husband, I feel like no price is too large, right? In all seriousness though, like I said, I'm not gonna sit here and be like, this is normal, this should be fine. Because no, this is weird. And like telling the internet that you fuck your car, that's never gonna be acceptable, hopefully. But I also don't think it's that crazy of a thing to say that like, this guy is probably not hurting anybody by fucking his car, probably just himself. At the end of the day, not that big of a deal, right? Or maybe I'm just secretly into cars. Who knows? So yeah.